This is the San Antonio Real Estate Show with Don Davis and Mark Harris.
Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound.
Hi, this is Mark Harris, and welcome to our inaugural broadcast of the San Antonio Real Estate Show. Don, I'm pretty happy to be here. How about yourself?
I'm ecstatic.
You know, I was kind of worried, being the first show. I've never done anything like this before, that probably wouldn't be anybody listen to us, but I have about 50 people here in the area and the family, and they all said they'd be listening.
Well, and Facebook makes things just fantastic. You can go from 0 listeners to 1,000 listeners in one click of a button.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So, the thing is I realized, being our first show, most people don't know who we are, what we're about. So I thought it'd be a good idea since it's the first show, maybe you talk a little bit about who you are and where you came from, your real estate experience, your family life.
Well, that's great, Mark. I look forward to kind of sharing my background and how I actually got into the real estate business. My name's Don Davis. I'm a graduate of Highlands High School on the Southeast Side. We call it the pride of the Southeast Side.
Woohoo!
And I'm a San Antonio native. Grew up on the east side of town and basically got married, had kids, and realized I needed to find a career that could support a family, and I jumped into real estate.
And what a family. How many kids you have?
I have 6 kids.
6 kids. You have to sell a lot of houses, don't you?
Yeah, a lot of houses. 3 girls, 3 boys, and have them in the real estate investment mode, so we all understand the benefits of what we call cash flow, which is a new form of monopoly that shows you how to invest in real estate. So everything's been really working in our favor. More about my background. I went to Howard Payne University, played a little football out there in Brownwood, Texas, came back and pretty much went through a few layoffs with WorldCom and MCI and things like that, and said, you know what, I want to do this real estate stuff full time. I love it. And no matter where I'm at, on vacation or in the Bahamas, first thing I do is grab the real estate section of the newspaper and find out what prices are going for, what houses are going for in those areas. So it's definitely something I love to do. I have a passion for, and I know the San Antonio Real Estate Show has many, many more listeners to come. But enough about me, Mark. Let's hear a little bit about you.
Well, I'm actually, I was born a long time. No, I wasn't born here.
Okay.
I was born in Kentucky, grew up in Ohio.
Okay.
I moved here, it was about 25 years ago. I met my beautiful wife.
Awesome.
We've been married for going on 24 years now.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, we were never blessed with children, but we do have a very large extended family. I think there's 60 of us here in town.
Great.
And in fact, my newest niece, Janelle, was just born on Friday. We call her Gia. She's absolutely adorable.
Awesome.
And I've been blessed. People talk about all the time about, the nightmare of in-laws, and I've just been blessed with a wonderful family with my wife, Irma. And, the mortgage industry, I've been doing it for about 13 years, which, I guess it doesn't sound like a long time, but in the mortgage industry, it kind of makes me a dinosaur.
Exactly.
I think the average loan officer is 2-3 years. It's a very high pressure, and I've just been blessed with a great company, and I have a very large team. We have about 20 people who work with us. So we're really blessed in that respect. So Don, tell us a little bit about the market today. I mean, after all, that's why we're here. So people want to hear about real estate. And you were just sharing a really interesting fact right before we went on air about the trend.
Yes. Like I said, I'm born in San Antonio, born and raised in San Antonio. So I've seen our real estate cycle. And what I mean by that, developers developing land in inner city land and exterior land in the suburbs. And you notice moving patterns of people. Everybody who wants to move outside of town is now trying to move back inside of town. So it's kind of a ripple effect where the city spreads out and then it goes back in. The city spreads out and then it goes back in. So we have people now relocating from Stone Oak to condos downtown. So we have plenty of opportunities, inner city, and also plenty of opportunities outer city. Depends on your commute, what type of work you do, and things like that.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I thought that everybody wanted to be outside. Listen, we want to thank KTSA Talk 550 Talk Radio for letting us be on the air. And if you have a question for us, you'd like to talk to us, the local number here is 599-5555. We do have a toll-free number. That's 1-800-299-KTSA. Again, the local is 599-5555, and the toll-free is 800-299-KTSA.
And speaking of that, Mark, we forgot something very important. We've introduced ourselves, but now let's introduce our companies. What is the name of your mortgage company?
Mid-America Mortgage. It's the oldest private mortgage bank in the United States, formed back in the 1940s. And I've just been blessed to be with them. I was a broker for a while, then I worked for another very large bank for a long time, and I've been with Mid-America now for 2 years, and they're just absolutely phenomenal. I'm so blessed to be a part of that company. And tell us a little bit about you.
Well, we're with Remax Corridor. We're located right across from the Forum Shopping Center in Selma, Texas. Now, don't get me wrong. Even though we're located in Selma, we service the San Antonio metropolitan area. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home in the San Antonio metropolitan area, we definitely can help you. But as far as Mid-America Mortgage, the proof is in the pudding. I know I've have several clients that have done business with you guys, and Mark, you do an excellent job, whether it's USDA, VA, or FHA, conventional loans, you name it, you guys get deals done. And that's hard to find in today's real estate market.
I think we should talk a little bit about that. Your wife was just before we came on the air talking about, the problem today is it's fear.
Yes.
I mean, people who are buying a house or refinancing a house, I mean, it's a very large investment, and it's very scary. We actually have our first caller. Let's put him on the phone. Hello, this is Mark. Who am I talking to?
It's Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. How are you?
I'm great. Congratulations on your show. And I just thought I would call in. I have owned my home for 7 years, and I'm an independent contractor, and so I needed to see what the qualifications were in order to be able to refinance, because I'm at a 6%.
Okay.
So I just wanted to see if my credit score is close to 800.
Okay, so the credit scores are good. Typically with self-employed people, the biggest problem that we have is, like with your tax returns. You're not a W-2 employee, so what we're going to do is we're going to take your last 2 tax returns, average that income out. How long have you been self-employed?
2 years.
Okay.
Actually, 2 years in June. And,
awesome.
And I guess, the income would be, probably for the 2 years about $160,000.
Okay, so you filed 2 tax returns with your new company.
Yes.
It doesn't sound like you're going to have a problem either with credit scores or with the income. You certainly you should be reporting enough income. What's the value of the home?
$125,000.
And how much do you still owe on it?
100.
Okay. So what we need to do, Debbie, is take a look at the situation. Just because you can refinance doesn't always mean that you should. So we need we need to look at your situation. You've been in there for 7 years, so you have 23 years left on a 30-year mortgage. If you do a 15-year loan and you plan on being in the house at least 3 years, there's probably some real savings to be had. But a lot of the times people will just refinance because, I just want a low rate. But we need to look at, is it really beneficial for you? I think the best thing to do, Debbie, is let me give you my office number, and if you call us tomorrow, what we can do is take a look at the entire situation.
Okay.
And determine whether it's a good idea for you or not. My local phone number here is 210 692
All right.
7500.
7500.
Yeah, that's my local company, Mid-America Mortgage, and I have several people there's always somebody there answering the phone between 9 and 6 p.m. So you won't have any problem getting a hold of somebody.
And,
okay,
and
great.
Debbie, also, this is Don Davis with Remax Corridor. Let me ask a quick question. Have you had a chance to see what your home is worth at this time? That usually plays a big factor in whether you should refinance or not as well.
I haven't checked in a while, so I will think about that, because I believe it has gone up in value, and it's a nice little neighborhood. It's not over the top, but it's a really nice, good neighborhood, and it's in Bexar County, but not in San Antonio, but yet it's right on Bandera and 1604.
Okay, great. Now, what are your goals? Are you trying to buy another place, or are you trying to lease another place?
No, I just thought, I had been making, like extra $100 payments, every month, just trying to, knock down some of that principal. And, people are telling me, you need to refinance, but I had just gone from a corporate job to become an independent contractor, but stayed in the same line of work that I've been in for 30 years.
Okay.
And so, so it's just like an established network of people that I know. So I was just thinking that might be the best thing to do, but I appreciate the fact that you're saying that we'll have to evaluate it, because it may not be.
Exactly. But you are on the right track by applying an extra payment towards principal every month. That's one of the biggest things you can do to begin with. And you just want to make sure you're in a good appreciating area, and also in a good school district. You'd be surprised how school district.
School.
Yeah, school districts affect our supply and demand tremendously. So,
right.
But Bandera and 16.
It's in Northside. Yeah, it's in Northside. O'Connor High School is one light away, and Brandeis is one major street away.
Oh, so you can win. You can win on either side.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Debbie, I want to thank you for calling in, and I look forward to talking to you tomorrow.
Awesome. Have a great day, Debbie.
And congratulations.
Well, thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Don, that brings up an interesting point. A lot of people are wondering, with the rising rate environment, is it a good time to buy? Is it still there's still time to refinance? And interest rates, they've been going up the last couple of 3 months. But if you look at it historically over a 30-year period, it's 7.5%. So rates are still really good.
Yeah, we're still good. Like I said, we went down, and now we're creeping back up, but it's still better than it was. So we're definitely on the right track.
No, absolutely. Now, okay, so I've given out my phone number. Let's let them know how to get in touch with you.
Okay. Yeah, my contact information, I'm web-based first. So DonDavisRealtyGroup.com is my website. You can always browse for properties on that website. And my cell phone is 210-373-9286. That's 210-373-9286. We're going to take a quick commercial, and then we'll come back and have some more questions about the USDA program that Mark has through Mid-America Mortgage. And then we're going to go ahead and talk about VA loans as well.
All right.
Waiting silently for me.
You're listening to the San Antonio Real Estate Show with Don Davis and Mark Harris.
All right, and we're back, Don. So we're back with 550 KTSA. Let me give those phone numbers out once again. The local number here is 599-5555. And the toll-free number is 800-299-KTSA. By the way, if you're thinking of buying or selling a house and there's never been a better time for it, Don's number here is 210-373-9286. And Mid-America's number, once again, for those of you who need it, is 210-692-7500. This is our first show, Don, but we've been very lucky. We already have a couple of sponsors, and one of them we're both very familiar with, and that's Womack Chevrolet out there in Castroville Road. I have bought several vehicles myself out there. I've taken my family. I know you just bought a truck.
Yes, I did. I bought a Texas edition.
Texas edition. There you go.
Texas edition. And I'm loving it. I mean, the service at Womack Chevrolet, it was beyond. You know the book Raven Fans?
I do know the book.
That is exactly what I felt when I walked in that dealership. I mean, it was an awesome experience, from purchasing the vehicle to evaluating my vehicle to helping me set up my Bluetooth for my phone calls while I'm driving down the road. Now I'm hands free finally.
Raving Fans is almost like our Bible at our office. I mean, it's how to create an awesome experience for people. And one of the things that we learned from that is that real service starts after the sale. Exactly. And I'm telling you, Womack Chevrolet, John Womack and LJM Ross and Virginia, the sales counselor, they really live that. I took my parents out there and I bought them a a slightly used Buick Regal, and they just absolutely love it. They've had it for a couple of years now.
Wow.
But they took awesome care of them. They told them, anytime you have a problem, come out. We'll take care of it. Just fantastic, and just really good people. If anybody out there needs to buy a car, or just thinking about one, go out there and visit with LJ. He's the sales manager. John is the owner. They're just the salt of the earth type kind of people. And
Virginia, of course, Virginia as well.
Virginia's a sweetheart. She absolutely is. So tell us a little bit more about the market today. Oh, wait, actually, we have another phone call. Let's get to that. Lucio's on the phone. Lucio.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good. Congratulations on y'all's show. First of all, I have a couple of questions that you'd like to ask, but sometimes you don't want to be calling mortgage companies and things like that. So when I heard y'all's show, I mean, that's awesome. It gives us an opportunity to call in and find out things that we want to do.
It's a safe environment without somebody trying to pressure you into giving somebody your Social Security number or list your house. Go ahead. What's your question, Lucio?
Actually, what I have, as you get older, we have a 2-story home that we're looking into right now that we want to sell.
Okay.
But at the same time, we're looking into buying a house.
Okay.
1 story, but the whole thing about, was the interest rates going up and everything. Is it a good time to buy a home at the present time?
That's a great question, Lucio. I'm glad you asked. Basically, it depends. And people always say, well, I want a straight answer. Well, I need to know which area you're looking at and which area you're selling in and things like that. But as far as the interest rates, yes, it is a great time because interest rates are slowly creeping back up. So you do want to get in. We have a saying that we use here in Texas. You want to be the first to the dance. You don't want to be the last to the dance. If you decide to buy a home after rates go back up, you'll be paying double what your neighbor pays. So as far as interest rates, yes. As far as real estate, it depends. Which area are you looking at purchasing in?
Actually, it's the Alamo Ranch area. Right now, the present home that I have is out in the Oak Creek area, closer to the Stevens High School area,
okay,
which would be around 604 Petrenko.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I used to have an office right there on Petrenko across from Stevens, so I'm very familiar with the area.
So, Don, he's what we call an empty nester, right?
Yes, he's an empty nester. He wants everything on one level.
Kids are grown. Maybe the house is too big or the 2-story. I hear that a lot. When buyers come in, they're saying they're downsizing a little bit when they get a little bit older. They're tired of running up and down them stairs.
Exactly. And Alamo Ranch is a great master plan community. You already are on the right track as far as where you want to live. I don't know if you noticed, Alamo Ranch has it was originally developed by Pulte Homes, and Pulte, they pretty much divided it into sections. So the left section is where you have all the trees. The right section is where you have more of the mass development. So if you have a chance, I would recommend you buy on the left side of Lone Star Parkway. Which builders have you looked at over there so far?
Right now, we really haven't looked at any buildings. We've just been looking more into the area itself. It's becoming a little town by itself.
Okay.
We live around the area, so every time we drive around there, something up is coming up.
Great restaurants also.
Yeah, it's like Alamo Ranch is a little town by itself.
Yeah.
We're looking out towards that area.
Great.
Well, Lucio, Don is the guy to talk to about real estate. I'm the mortgage guy. And when you're thinking about buying a home, the very first thing that you want to do is get pre-qualified so that we know that there's not going to be any problems. So, once again, I'm going to give our phone number out. It's 210-692-7500. And we are a local company here in San Antonio. And what we can do is we can take your application, get you pre-qualified, doesn't cost you anything, and we'll just cross all the T's, dot all the I's, and then put you in Don's car. He can help you find another home. But first, he'll help you sell your home. And right now, I'm telling you, there's never been a better time.
Better time to sell. As a matter of fact, Mark, that's a great segue right there. I was just looking at your area, Lucio. An average home in your area is taking about 69 days to sell, which is a little over 2 months. We do have a program here at Don Davis Realty Group where we're able to expedite a little bit, and it's a 45-day sale guarantee to where if we don't sell your home in 45 days, we'll actually pay you $1,000 when we do sell your home. So that really does work out well, but it does have some restrictions. We do have to price it correctly. We do have to stage the home, and if we don't get 2 showings a week, we know that there's something wrong that we need to address.
Sellers need to be realistic
Sure.
about what they're asking for, right?
Exactly.
I'll tell you, I'm not an agent, Lucio, Don, but there's not a better one than Don. So what I would suggest that you do is you set up an appointment after you get pre-qualified, set up an appointment with Don. He'll come out, take a look at the house. He'll do the comps. He'll tell you what the house is worth. And, 69 days, I have buyers who are trying to put offers in, and there's already 3 offers.
Exactly.
I guess it just depends on who your agent is and if it's priced right. Lucio, thanks for calling. Did you have any other questions?
Yeah, I did have one also, and this goes out to you, Mark. Once I do, say I get pre-qualified and sell my home, now, what would you recommend going into like a 30-year fixed mortgage or a 15-year fixed mortgage? I'm not a young buck anymore, so, that's why I ask the questions.
Well, I'll tell you what, it really depends on many things. And one of the biggest ones is your appetite for payment. So obviously your payment's going to be higher than on a 15-year loan than it is on a 30-year loan. You do get a slight interest rate betterment when you go 15 versus 30. But we also have to look at your debt to income ratio, make sure that you qualify for a 15-year loan. A lot of people would like to do the 15-year, but maybe with their debts, they just can't qualify for that. So that's another thing that we're going to look at during the pre-qualification process. More importantly, it's just the whole thing, just sitting down, going through everything and making sure that you're comfortable with all the numbers. Does that answer your question, Lucio?
Yeah, it does. It actually answered a lot of questions for a lot of our family because I have a son that's also looking for a house. He's going to be a proud daddy. So,
congratulations!
Thank you.
Well, wonderful.
First of all, again, I want to congratulate you guys on this program. Again, it's something that I probably would be looking and hesitating to ask questions of calling a mortgage company or real estate agent. And here, you guys made it easy for us.
Well,
awesome.
Well, we were glad to be here for you, Lucio. And if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to give us a call back. I appreciate your call.
All right, gentlemen, thank you.
All right, we're going to take another commercial break here for just a second, and we'll be back live here with 550 KTSA Radio.
Homeward bound.
The San Antonio Real Estate Show with Don Davis and Mark Harris continues now.
All right, and we're back here with the San Antonio Real Estate Show, 550 KTSA. Once again, the numbers to call in is 599-5555 if you're local, and if you're out of the area, it's 800-299 KTSA. Don, I wanted to just briefly mention, Waddell and Reed. That's another one of our sponsors. Betty Vargas and Gina Umano over there. They're just absolutely phenomenal. I've known them for the last couple of years. They take care of my money. And, I don't have a whole lot of money, so I'm kind of cautious about who I trust.
Exactly.
And I've sent a lot of clients over their way, and I got to tell you, they're always just absolutely pleased as punch. It's always nice to actually be able to call and talk to a live person. If you need anything, they're always there, and they've always been more than happy, Don, to sit down and talk to me face to face. And I admire that about them probably more than anything else.
Yeah. What I like about Waddell and Reed, they really are very thorough in 7 different styles of investing. You have college tuition, you have life insurance, you also have retirement. They basically make sure that all your eggs aren't in one basket, so you diversify your funds.
And I sat when I first went with them, they sat down with me and my wife for like an hour, and we went through what we were trying to accomplish and everything. We felt very comfortable when we left there, so I can't speak highly enough about them. And I'm glad that our sponsors are people that we actually know, like, and trust. It speaks volumes. Let's talk a little bit more about you, Don. I've known you for, 5-6 years.
Forever.
For quite a while. Yeah, most people who know me think it's been forever, but not quite.
Now, do you remember where we met?
We met at a coaching seminar that I've been a member of for the last 5.5 years, and I contribute to a lot of my success. They always make sure I do what I'm supposed to. But, most people don't realize the difference between an agent and a broker, and you're not just an agent. You're actually a broker with RE/MAX, which is one of the top companies out there. And most people probably don't realize that you are actually a Greg Rand certified specialist in investment properties. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, that's a certification I was able to obtain here at our RE/MAX convention in San Marcos this past February. It was an awesome certification. I don't know if everybody's familiar with Greg Rand. Greg Rand is a CNN Money investment specialist, and he actually spoke with people about diversification and supply and demand, importing and exporting and things like that. But what he found, the more research he did, he found that our real estate bubble was not actually a bubble. It was a cycle. And with that cycle, anything that goes down must come back up.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've heard that a lot. I mean, obviously being in the mortgage industry, I'm very interested in all things that are money. And from all the studying I've done and from all the listening, I've found that, what's happened the last 4 or 5 years was bound to occur anyway. Because everything had been driven up so high, it had to eventually fall. I think the mortgage implosion just kind of pushed it over the cliff a little bit prematurely, but it was going to happen.
Exactly. I attend Living Way Church, my pastor, Steve Fender, and he has one saying that he loves that people do, but at the same time, he also dislikes that they do. He says, if you create a crisis, then people tend to follow the crisis. What we experienced in the mortgage industry was a crisis. Yeah. However, what it allowed people to do is be more cautious in how they spend. And now we have Dave Ramsey, we have some other people involved that is helping America become debt free. So that crisis actually worked for our behalf.
You know, that you bring up an interesting point because prior to the implosion, I had people come in and everybody was trying to buy the best that they could. They didn't care about, debt to income ratios. They had all these quasi stated no doc programs, which really weren't good for people. I mean, if you don't look at the situation and find out what people can really afford and what they're comfortable with, and there's a lot of states that are in huge problems now because they just kept buying bigger, and didn't care about whether they could afford it or not. So I have the last couple of years, I've heard a lot more people come in and more people use the term, I don't want to be house rich and cash poor.
Exactly. And I totally understand. I made a leap of faith back in 2008 and bought the biggest house on the block. And
how'd that work out?
It came back to haunt me. So but they say sometimes the best mistakes are the ones that you make. So I definitely have learned from that mistake.
You're absolutely right.
That money in your pocket is better than money wasted.
So once again, let's give out the numbers here at 550 KTSA. It's 599-5555 for the local listeners. And if you're out of the area, our toll-free number is 800-299-KTSA. If you have a question, something on your mind about the real estate or mortgage industry and feel like calling in, give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. So I saw also the other day that, unfortunately, I get this a lot. People always want to know, where's the rates going? What's going on with the rates?
Exactly.
I can tell you that, in July, we hit a 2-year high. So, I mean, they're going up.
Exactly.
They were down in the 3s, and if you want to do some kind of adjustable rate mortgage, which I would definitely not recommend, and that's another thing. People all the time are down on adjustable rate mortgages, and for most people, it's not a good product.
Exactly.
But for people who understand it, and you're only like military.
Exactly.
There's a lot of military. They know they're going to be here 2-3 years. They're going to sell the house.
It's great.
For some of those people, maybe it is the right product.
It is.
But for most people, the plain old 30-year, 15-year fixed rate is always going to be safe and steady. And, they're in the 4s now, depending on credit score and, loan program. The 3s are gone, but that's still a great rate. Like we talked about earlier in the show, historically 7 to 7.5% is your average 30-year fixed rate mortgage.
Exactly. And another thing I recommend my clients, we do a rental market analysis when you buy a home.
Okay.
So that rental market analysis, I want to make sure that their mortgage payment is $200 below the rental market value in that neighborhood. Okay. That way, if they have to relocate, we're able to manage the property for them and make sure that it's a cash flowing investment property.
And with the rates still that low, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem. I think it's always been, even with the higher rates, it's always been, it's cheaper to buy than it is to rent, especially when you factor in, appreciation and, not moving out 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and just getting hassled trying to get your deposit back.
And remember, when you rent, you are paying somebody's mortgage.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure they're very happy about that.
Exactly. I would be ecstatic.
Yeah, so, the market is just really hot. I know we were talking earlier about how hot the market is, and it's very simple. I actually attended an event the other day. Well, okay, hold on. We'll hold on just a second. We have another caller. Let's take a call from George.
Yes, sir. Had a question regarding reverse mortgages.
Okay, I know a little bit about reverse mortgages. What's your question, George?
Okay, there's another show on KTSA, as a matter of fact.
Helen's show on Saturday. She's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you think so. I'm a little disappointed in her. I feel I know more about reverse mortgages than she does.
Well, that's not good. I've heard her show. I don't know her personally, but the show sounds good.
Well, I don't either, and I don't mean to, abuse her or and I appreciate the information she didn't give me. But
what's your question about reverse mortgages? Maybe I can help you.
Yeah. I originally asked her about my home. I've lived here 22 years, and I'm 6 blocks north of the Alamo.
Okay.
And she immediately told me that, no, it wouldn't qualify because it's commercial property. Well, I went to the appraisal district, and after digging, found out that, no, it didn't. It's zoned residential or commercial, primarily residential.
So it's mixed use.
Mixed use, right.
Okay, let me tell you, George, what I know about reverse mortgages, because I personally don't do them. My company doesn't do them. When they first came out, like 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, I did one for a couple, and I think it's a wonderful product for the person who understands it, because it makes life more affordable for people if there's, I think it's 61 years or older. Now, I don't know that much about the geographical requirements as far as commercial versus residential, and I think that I'm very knowledgeable in the mortgage process. I would hate for you to blame Helen for that. When we hear something like it's commercial, we automatically, red flags go up for us. Because we're not allowed to, we don't do commercial loans. I don't. I'm a residential mortgage person, and that's what I specialize in. But I know Helen does do a lot of reverse mortgages. Have you talked to her off the air, maybe given her a call at the office?
Yeah, and I kind of got the same stonewall. And the problem is what I was telling you. The first stonewall she threw up against me, I overcame. I went to the appraisal district.
Yeah.
Now she's telling me that unless to qualify for FHA, and I understand the government.
Yeah, it is an FHA
bureaucracy,
product.
That you have to have comps.
Well, and also, George, that's where I come in. That's we work hand in hand. This is Don Davis of the RE/MAX Corridor. Basically, what is the goal for you to pull the money out? Basically, because you also have an alternative in a home equity line of credit where you can borrow money against the primary property.
Obviously, if I can qualify for a reverse mortgage, I'm retired.
Okay.
And I need the money.
Okay. So, but I'm saying, are you using it to buy more real estate, or are you just using it to pocket? What exactly is your goal? Okay.
Yeah. No, I need to cash out to live on.
Okay. Yeah, because a home equity line of credit is also an alternative product that might work in that aspect.
Well, actually, that wouldn't work for him. The reverse mortgage, one of the reasons why it's so popular is you don't qualify income-wise. It's really about the property. They look at your age. You can either take a lump sum or you can take a monthly payment or a mix of the two. It's really a great product. George, I'd recommend that you give Helen a call again or call your local banker. It's again not something that I specialize in.
Exactly.
But I know Helen does. But if you want to do a regular mortgage, then I'm your guy. Okay, we have another caller. Thanks for calling, George. Justin is on the line. Go ahead, Justin.
How you doing, guys?
We're doing good.
Good. How about you, Justin?
Good. I have a couple of questions. I just purchased a house, and I'm yet to make the first payment.
Well, congratulations, Justin.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you. I hope I did everything right. I didn't listen to the show beforehand.
Did you use a realtor?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you're good.
I honestly, Justin, before hearing your story, I don't think that you can make a bad choice when you're buying a home today. It's the San Antonio is one of the best markets in the United States. And again, property values have not gotten out of control yet down here, and interest rates are still low. So tell us a little bit about your experience and how was everything for you?
Well, actually, at the beginning of the whole process, I had a bad experience trying to get a loan through Navy Federal. They were promising great things, and in the end, I guess their underwriting just the way they do things is a little backwards, and it put me 2 months behind, and I had to change to somebody local, and they got it done pretty quickly, and we got closed in 3 weeks.
Is what the bank, who we won't mention again, is that your person? Is that your bank that you do your checking and savings with?
Yeah, I have my.
I'll tell you this, Justin. A lot of people go to their bank and they try to get a mortgage, and then they get really bitter and disappointed when it doesn't work out. And what most people don't understand is, they're great for checking and savings, maybe a credit card. Mm-hmm. But when you try to do everything, a lot of times you're just not that great at anything. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But Navy is a great company. They really are for, like if you want a checking and savings account. Typically, if you want a mortgage, the best place to start is a mortgage bank like ourselves. It's something that we're really experienced in and we do every day, so we understand the ins and outs of it. Are you happy with the home, Justin?
Oh, we love it. We're still not fully moved in, but we're living, so it's okay.
That could take months, right?
Yeah, it does.
Well, I'm glad that you made the choice to buy a home. I'm very glad that you made the choice to use a real estate agent.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. By the way, Justin, who'd you use? I like to give, anytime I hear a good, happy story, I like to give that realtor credit. Who's your realtor?
His name's Joe Acosta.
Joe Acosta.
I know Joe Acosta very, very well.
Awesome.
Actually, he's a really good guy. I like Joe tremendously.
Well,
we went to high school. We're buddies, so he.
Awesome.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, did you have anything else, Justin?
I had a question. I don't know if this is something you guys could answer, but what is one of the things that I could do? Because I'm not looking to stay in this house very long, maybe 5 years. What would be some of the things that I could do that would automatically improve the home for the market in the future to sell and put some equity into
Don,
it?
I'll defer to you since you're the real estate guru. You go ahead, young man.
Do I work at Home Depot? Nah, just nah, real quick, Justin. Just the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you don't over improve your home. I've seen people say, "Well, I added a pool and I added a basement and I have an elevator and an escalator, and now I want $700,000 for my house." No, you have to be within the means of the community. So you want to make sure you don't over improve. So little stuff like crown molding, granite, ceramic tile. Wood floors,
paint,
fresh paint,
landscaping, nice landscaping.
Yeah, stuff like that. But once you start getting into the big investments, just know sometimes you only get 10 cents on a dollar.
You got to be careful when, Justin, like if you're adding on space, it's better to always be the smallest house in the neighborhood rather than the largest. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, you really want to stay away from additions. Additions typically are hard to bring in appraised value. You also have to. I mean, I've flipped some houses, and you also have to run the AC. You have to make sure it has a closet. So if you're going to do additions, it's going to be a permanent rental property. If you do already know you're going to sell one day, make it nice, keep it clean. Landscaping, like he says, don't do too much. Just take care of it and let it build some equity for you.
All right. Well, Justin, hey, thanks for calling. We really appreciate it. This is Mark Harris with Don Davis. We're going to take another radio commercial, and we'll be back here in just a minute with the San Antonio Real Estate Show here at 550 KTSA.
You're listening to the San Antonio Real Estate Show with Don Davis and Mark Harris.
All right, and we're back here at 550 KTSA Talk Radio with the San Antonio Real Estate with Mark Harris and Don Davis. And did you hear the commercial again with our good friends over there, Waddell and Reed?
Awesome. Yeah, Waddell and Reed, they do a great job with finances. Make sure all your eggs aren't in one basket.
Yeah.
But most importantly, they cater your fingerprint for investment. So your specific goals can be reached if you follow the plans they prepare for you.
I can sleep better at night knowing that, I don't have to be working until I'm 80 years old.
Exactly.
I'm very thankful to them. I also want to thank our sponsors over at Womack Chevrolet. If you're looking to buy a car, you run on out there. They'll take absolutely awesome care of you. They've done that for both me and Don, and we're thrilled to have both of them as a sponsor on our very first show. That's fantastic. If you own a business and you're looking to advertise, we would love to talk to you about that. You can give either one of us a phone call. Our phone numbers again, Don's phone number is 210-373-9286. You can reach my office at 210-692-7500. And if you have a call today that you'd like to give us a call and talk to us, the local number here once again is 599-5555. And if you're out of the local area, it's 800-299-KTSA. Don, when you talk to me about getting together and doing something, we talked about TV. I'm glad we decided on radio. Who wants to look at a couple of ugly old guys like us anyway?
Exactly. And then also we get the benefit of coming in the studio casual. So radio was definitely the way to go. I also mentioned when we put the show together that I was going to give some special attention to my seller. So we're at that time in the show where I want to give my seller some attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
My first seller is going to be the McGrinson family. They have a property at 2735 Wayne Drive. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath home. It's going for $59,995.
Well, that's cheap.
Yeah, that's home ownership is better than living in an apartment.
Absolutely.
So if you can go ahead and buy a small home, build some equity, and then do what we call a move up.
So that'd be like a great starter home for a young couple, or even like the guy who called earlier who was looking to downgrade.
Exactly. Sometimes people think, if I want to buy a house, I have to spend $100,000. We would love for you to do that. However, that is not the only way to buy a house. We're going to go ahead and have a caller call in. Jim just called in. Let's go ahead and have Jim answer any question Jim may have.
Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, fellas. I don't know if this is going to fit what you guys do or not, but I have a rental property in an older section of town. Mm-hmm. It's a kind of a 2-building, 3-unit property. Okay. And the problem that I'm having is it's kind of run down in places, but I'd like to sell it. I don't know how to get. I don't know what I need to do to sell it.
Well, I can tell you, Jim, what you need to do. You need to give Don a call. Did you get his number? It's 373-9286. And
okay.
What he can do, give him a call tomorrow or later on this afternoon, and he'll come out, take a look at it. He'll do the comps, the comparables, kind of let you know exactly what you need to go from there. And if you've been listening to the whole show, Jim, it's an absolute just smoking time to be selling a property right now.
Exactly.
Well, I understand that, and there's never a better time than right now.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Did you have any other questions, Jim?
Nope, that's it. That really helps me a lot.
No problem. We'll give Don a call tomorrow, and I'm sure he'd love to talk to you, and thanks for calling. If anybody else has a question for us, give us a call. Once again, that number is 599-5555, and toll free at 800-299-KTSA. Don, that first property was interesting. What else you got for us?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought me back to that. We have a nice property on Loma Chica, right off of I-35 in Tupperwine. This is a blessed home. This guy is actually a pastor. So, so I know what it looks good as soon as you walk in. You have wood floors, you have solid granite countertops.
So it's a really nice house.
But he's trying to downsize. Those stairs, I tell you what, after we hit 40, those stairs are
I'm 48. I'm not trying to run up and down those stairs or anything. I get it.
Yeah, but that's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home, 2.5 bath, 2,085 square feet, going for $174,995. Okay. So that's Loma Vista subdivision. Please give me a call. I can show you that one anytime this week.
Very cool. You got anything else?
Yeah. Then we have 8635 Anderson Cove in the Miramar community. Miramar is a great community right near Judson Rocket football. By the way, the rematch September 6th at Judson Stadium versus Steel Knights. I'm pulling for Judson this year. But 175 is what this one's going for as well. This is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, with a 3-car garage. It's a tandem garage.
So there's a lot of really good buys out on the market right now.
Oh yeah. These homes are in immaculate condition because basically you get these houses that people are relocating. Like this particular gentleman has relocated to work for Myers Grocery out in Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So
he's got to get out.
Exactly. And then we have one more in Greenway Terrace, which is over there near the oil field, Baker Hughes area.
That's got to be a hot area.
Oh man, that area is awesome. You got Halliburton, Baker Hughes. I mean, all these companies right there, just off 37 by the lake, so you can go fishing.
How much is that?
That one's going for 183.5, 2566 square feet.
That's a big house for a little bit of money.
It's all about dollars per square foot. Dollars per square foot. That's why the gentleman earlier who wanted to do upgrades, when it's all said and done, it still boils down to dollars per square foot. And last but not least, in Bridlewood Park subdivision, in the city of Live Oak across from Burlington Coat Factory, we have 1384 Biltmore Lakes. This house is 2733 square foot with a man cave you can't believe. Football season's coming up. Matter of fact, the Cowboys.
Dallas
Cowboys
yeah,
play
baby.
tonight. Yeah, so we're back in business. The Cowboys are ready to do something this year. Jerry's ready. So that's just a few of our listings. Like I said, we price our listings correctly just because we don't want to have to deal with appraisal issues and things like that. They're priced to sell, but most importantly, they're taken care of well and things like that. So you're definitely getting a quality product with a home warranty for the first year.
Well, very cool, Don. You know, I've maintained and I've heard a lot about it. It's a great time to buy or sell here in San Antonio. So if you're thinking of doing either one, you want to give Don a call. You can call him tomorrow. Again, that number is 373-9286. My number at Mid-America is 692-7500. And, you know, Don, I can't believe we're almost out of time.
We're almost out of time already. But guess what? The fun continues next Sunday, 5 p.m. on News Talk 550 KTSA.
KTSA. You know, I've had such a good time, and the time has really flown by. You know, if you enjoyed the show, tune in again next week. We will be here every Sunday from now on, from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. We'll be taking your calls. We'll be talking to you about what's important. And to reiterate from earlier, you know, buying a home, I don't care, even for people who've done it in the past, it's still a scary thing. It's the biggest thing they'll ever do.
Biggest decision you ever make.
And we want to just try and help that transition if we can. Maybe talk you off the ledge.
Exactly.
Just make you a little bit more comfortable. I've really enjoyed this, Don.
I have to. I look forward to it, Mark. Like I say, you're my co-host, and I couldn't have picked a better guy. Like I said, we've done business together for years, and I knew that we were destined for success with the San Antonio Real Estate Show.
San Antonio Real Estate Show. We're also on Facebook. Look us up there.
The SanAntonioRealEstateShow.com.
That's it. And, you know, this is 550 KTSA Talk Radio. We're about out of time. Tune in again next week. Again, those numbers one more time for RE/MAX.
Yes.
Don Davis is 373-9286. And for Mid-America Mortgage at 692-7500. I'm Mark Harris.
I'm Don Davis.
And we'll talk to you next week, guys.
Homeward bound, home where my thoughts escaping home.